Welcome to the GetBandhu platform, and today we will talk about the topic improved oil recovery, and specifically we will talk about the Buckley-Leverett equation. What the Buckley-Leverett equation is, it's a basic 1D equation. 1D means one-dimensional equation. Basic equation is that describe the immiscible displacement in one dimension. I talk about what is 1D, like pipe flow is 1D. So this immiscible displacement means, say this is the reservoir and this is the injection well and this is the production well. What is happening? Water is displacing oil. So since these two phase is immiscible with each other, we call it immiscible displacement. So here in this topic, Buckley-Leverett equation, Buckley-Leverett theory, what it does, it explains how this one-dimensional displacement of oil by water. So if say this distance is x from the injection well, this Buckley-Leverett will be helping you to know what is the distance of this flood front. This is called flood front from the injection well, and at the behind of the flood front, that will be the unstable zone, and in front of will be the stable zone. Since at the back all the water is injected and being filled by the water, so these here what will be there, most of the part will be filled by the injected water. So this Buckley-Leverett equation will help us. If this is the flood front or shock front, is also called flood front or shock front. So this Buckley-Leverett equation answer about what is the velocity of that flood front having that particular saturation SWF. So velocity of this flood front SWF, and then velocity, if velocity is known, multiply by the time taken to travel that flood front from the injection well, we can multiply this velocity by time. Then also we can know the velocity, the distance of that flood front from the injection well. So these two answer could be known from these Buckley-Leverett equations. Also there are some attached concept like if this is immiscible, or say density of water is constant, incompressible fluid is there. So if you know the average injected volume of water inside the reservoir, so it will be comparable, approximate compressible to the volume of oil extracted from the reservoir. So from this concept you can also calculate the recovery factor, how much amount of water injected, and similarly what is the oil extracted from there. So here is that same Buckley-Leverett equation. What it does, it determines the velocity of plane of constant water saturation. I told you the constant water saturation is SWF, that is saturation of flood front traveling through a linear system. Linear system means, we talked already about the assumptions of Buckley-Leverett 1D displacement, and at the beginning, before the fraction flow equations development, we talked about what is the assumptions of this 1D displacement. One assumptions was that the reservoir is so thin that there is a vertical equilibrium inside the reservoir. That means it was comparable to like thin sheet of iron plate, where temperature is if temperature is traveling in this direction, so it is equally distributed. This is called vertical equilibrium. That means this will be happening when the reservoir is the page zone is small. So this kind of water saturation, constant water saturation will be there at the flood front, that will be SWF. So if say this is the flood front and this is injection well and this is production well, so the velocity of that flood front at which that flood front is moving will be given by velocity of SWF will be dx by dt, simple physics that we used to study in class 11, will be equal to QI. QI is total water injection rate, and divided by area, that means the area of cross section, multiplied by the porosity of that porous medium in which the water is being injected, and multiply the derivative of fraction flow curve. We know the fraction flow curve, this was something like that, and this is FW, this is SW. So we calculate the derivative of this fractional flow curve at the given saturation of SWF. So at this SWF, the given derivative will be put here to calculate the velocity. Only thing is that you should know the rate at which water is being injected and cross section area of reservoir in which water is being injected and the porosity of the porous media. Again, if you know the velocity, you multiply with the velocity into time at from 0 to t integration. This will give you the total distance traveled by that flood front. That total distance will be x from this injection well. So this total distance is given by velocity into time of integration. So this will be like, if you multiply by dt, the qi dt integration will be total water injection, volume of water injection. So this part will be converted to total volume of water injection, and finally the distance of flood front, distance of SWF, that distance of flood front from the injection well will be given by the water injection, total volume of water injection divided by the area of cross section into porosity, and at total this will multiply with the derivative of fractional flow curve at SWF. So if you know the concept of fractional flow equation and how the derivative is calculated, is a simple mathematical interpretation, and knowing that total volume of water injection from a two well pattern, one well is injection well and another well is production well. So total volume of water injection say Wi, and the area of cross section is I, and porosity of porous medium is phi. Then in that case, if you could know what is the derivative of fractional flow curve at SWF, you can know the distance of flood front travel inside the reservoir. So knowing that how far that flood front has moved inside the reservoir, you can monitor the reservoir performance, and you can monitor the which well should shut down to prevent the water breakthrough. So this is the simple fractional flow curve that we saw earlier as well. So this is starting from SWC, that is critical water saturation. If that means below critical water saturation the FW is 0, what does it mean? That water is not flowing at all in the porous media as compared to oil. But when water is above SWC, what is happening? The water is contributing into the water cut. This FW is simply the water cut into percentage. So when I mean simple relative permeability concepts are very clear to you. When water is above SWC, it is increasing and then it is contributing into the flow. That means when water is increasing from SWC, it will increase and it will displace oil, and this is how it will contribute into the flow. That means when the water saturation is 1 minus SOR, that means all the oil has been displaced, only thing is remaining SOR is there, and all the porous media that is there apart from SOR is being filled by water. In that case, what you will have, that at SOR oil is not flowing, only thing is flowing that is water. So at only thing is flowing that is water, that means the contribution of water into the water cut is 100%. At the time the water cut will be 100%, and that is denoted by the FW equal to 1. And in the Buckley-Leverett equation, what we desired is we desired that we could know the derivative of fractional flow equation at SWF. So here what we'll do, we will try to calculate the derivative of fractional flow equation at SWF. We don't know what is SWF, and we will try to figure out Welch method as well then in the next video or in this video, and try to know that how you can calculate it. So this is the fractional flow equation. This is the derivative of this fractional flow equation, dFW by dSW. So this is kind of shape that is coming at the derivative of this fractional flow curve. So this is varying from SWC to 1 minus SOR, and in between somewhere what you see between the SWC and 1 minus SOR, you are viewing that the dFW by dSW is maximum. So what is maximum value? Here you could see that if this is maximum, then your velocity will be maximum as well and your distance will be maximum as well. So if you know somewhere this is point, but we are not knowing what the point is there, at which point we should calculate this dFW by dsW. So one question was raised that if two at particular saturation, say this particular saturation, and knowing that saturation and knowing that dFW at particular saturation dFW is known, and we can know the from here we can know the x, because here in this last slide what we saw that if you know the derivative of that dFW by dsW at any saturation SW, we can know the distance of that flood front traveled. So from this knowing that this is the derivative plot, and we can calculate the dx, that will be total volume of water injection area into phi, that will be dFW by dsW at any saturation SW. So if we know that from here only we can calculate the plot between saturation and x. That means at given saturation the different FW by dsW will be there, and from there we calculate the x, and knowing that x we plot something like that. The question here is at any distance x, but we assume that there is a linear flow, that means and vertical equilibrium is existing, that means at any given distance there must be a single velocity, but single saturation, because vertical equilibrium means single saturation at the given point. So given point what you will see that two velocity is coming, two saturation is coming. So this is not valid for the assumptions from which the Buckley-Leverett equation and fractional flow equation were driven. So here what we will do, you will try to adjust this particular curve in that manner that you will get the assumptions validated at this point. So here what we need to understand that there are somewhere there is some location x at which it is like at injection well and this is a production well, somewhere you will have a completely saturated 1 minus SOR region, and then after that you will have decreasing water saturation, and somewhere in the whole reservoir you will have one SOC. So this decreasing water saturation, and then flood front will be there somewhere. So in front of that flood front there is no water saturation raised, only thing is that only SOC is there. But if you closely look at it, that means here only, if you closely look at it, what you will see that this part is coming from here, so name it 1, and this part is coming from 1, so 1 1, and this part is coming from here, that is 2. So it is very clear from here, so 1 1, this is 2 2, but only thing is there, this is SWC to somewhere, say this is the inflection point, some SW, and then 1 minus SOR. So if you see here, what you will look at is in an injection pattern, somewhere here 1 minus SOR will be somewhere here, 1 minus SOR, and somewhere close to the production well SWC will be there. That means this part is in front of the flood front in the stable zone. This part will be the behind the flood front. The water is being injected in the back of the flood front, so we are looking in that behind the flood front only. So this part will be this part, because 1 minus SOR to somewhere here, this is the behind the flood front, this will be behind the flood front, and this will be the in front of flood front. And what we do here, we try to locate some location somewhere here, so that at this location you will have a constant water saturation, this part, and then you will try to move this part here so that something like that will happen. So finally what you will have that this particular curve will be look like this one. So this will be 1 minus SOR, this will be SWC, and this is the change in the saturation in the behind the flood front that will be there. So this is happening because we had neglected the capillary term in the fractional flow equation. While deriving this fractional flow curve is there when we neglected the gravity and capillary term. I told you we do some arrangement here so that the assumptions of Berkeley-Leverett that was there at the initial is validated here, is valid here. So when this kind of plot is there, I told you earlier that this is the plot, actual plot that they are inside the behind the flood front. So when you have that, I think it is in the next slide. Oh yeah, it is there. I will let you know that how capillary is included. Even the fractional flow is not including the capillary at the beginning. So this arrangement is done. So this will be the final curve, plot that will be there by doing that arrangement. So finally you see this is the flood front SWF, this is production well, and this is injection well. Up to some distance you have displaced all the oil, and only thing is there you are having 1 minus SOR, and 1 minus SOR, that means this is the water saturation completely filled near to the injection well, and then you will have a tapered saturations. The point is you need to find the average water saturation that is behind the water front, and that will be the integration or the combination of all this area of these two figure. So this will be 1 minus SOR up to x1, so this total plot, this total area, and then SW into dx up to x1 to x2, that means this total. So this will be the average water saturation that is behind the waterfront or shock front. So here we saw that how that arrangement is made, and average water saturation SW double bar that called behind the waterfront is there. You also understood that which part is belong to which part. That means this is the behind the waterfront. This is the behind the waterfront. Say 1 that means behind the waterfront, and this is the ahead of the waterfront. So in the ahead of the waterfront, in the front of the waterfront, there is no building of water saturation. That means this plot is when water is injected at high pressure, that this viscous force will be comparable to capillary. But what is happening at the back, behind the flood front, that viscous force is very, very high compared to capillary force. That means when viscous force is high, you are neglecting the capillary, and because in the front you should not neglect the capillary, this plot will be something like that. So this is the plot. If you include the capillary in front of the flood front, this will be a straight line, and then behind the flood front, this will be the plot. So the final plot that we will have is neglecting this one, and you will have this plot. So at the end what you will have is this kind of plot, and having a average water saturation behind the average water saturation means say injection well is there and production well is there. Everything that is injected inside the average saturation of SW double bar is denoted here as a accumulation of all things. So if you use a simple material balance, that means incompressible fluid is injected, so all the injected total water build up that will be inside the reservoir, that will be SW double bar minus SWC. This is the total saturation build up. So you multiply with the distance travel, that means this area, average water saturation, and then multiply by area into 5. This will give you the total water injection inside the reservoir. And similarly, if it is compressible, then total equal volume of oil will be produced from there. What I was saying, that if you know the average water saturation behind the waterfront, you can calculate the total volume of water injected inside the reservoir, total volume of water that is built inside the reservoir, that means behind the waterfront. This is the water that is being injected, and this is the volume of oil that also been displaced by this water, as this is immiscible fluid total, that means सिंपल मेटल बैलेंस इज देयर, जितना डालोगे अंदर उतना ही बाहर आएगा उस साइड, जितना इधर डालेंगे, जितना वाटर यहाँ पे जाएगा उतना ही वाटर बाहर आएगा. तो फ्रॉम दिस अरेंजमेंट यू कैन एस्टिमेट द एवरेज वाटर सैचुरेशन दैट इज बिल्ड इनसाइड द बैग. So this will be SW bar minus SWC, that would be W water total water injection divided by X2 multiplied by area is total cross sectional area into porosity of that porous media. So this total water injection is known because whatever volume of water being injected, जो भी water inject किया जा रहा है वो पता है हमें, because at the injection well we are monitoring it. So from there we can do some small arrangement, that is SW bar minus SWC, that is total water injection divided by X2, that means up to this part whatever water is being injected उसका यहाँ पर लिखा है. Total water injection, volume of water injection, not rate, this is the total volume of water injection divided by X2 area of cross section into phi. So this part was there. Also from Buckley-Leverett equation, what was that? X equal to total volume water injection area into phi dFW by dSW. So from here we can, what is there, X A phi divided by Wi, that will be dFW by dSW. So you reverse it, that will be 1 by dFW by dSW. So finally what we have is dFW by dSW at SWF equal to, what will have, 1 upon at average water saturation behind the waterfront at SWF, that means at particular behind saturation when the flood front has moved a certain distance, that will be 1 upon 1 SW bar minus SWC, critical water saturation. So you know that derivative of that fractional flow equation, fractional flow curve that is being input to Buckley-Leverett equation is something like that. Only thing is that we don't know at the average water saturation inside the reservoir, and for that the Welch method came into picture to estimate the average water saturation behind the waterfront. So next video we will talk about it, and GATE also heavily asked questions from this immiscible displacement topic. That's why we are taking more time over it. Thank you.